Hey USA Volleyball Show fans, let's pause for a second and talk about something that's been game-changing on and off the court, Zenni's wraparound visor sunglasses. Zenni has seriously upped their game with these sports performance sunglasses. The advanced polarization technology cuts the glare, enhancing visibility even in the brightest conditions. They're made for high-impact action. These aren't just any sunglasses, they're specifically designed for pro athletes like USA Volleyball Olympians Taryn Brasher and Kristen Nuss. With customizable tints and a lightweight, durable frame, you can play your best game every time. Plus, you can even add your prescription, and the high wrap frame offers full peripheral vision and eye protection. They're also super affordable. Zenni is all about making high-quality eyewear accessible to everyone. This is a whole new level of value and performance. You can pick from a range of sleek, sporty designs in various frame and lens colors. So if you're looking to upgrade your eyewear game, head over to zenni.com and explore their sports performance sunglasses. Use our exclusive promo code ZENNIUSAV, that's all caps, ZENNIUSAV, at checkout to get 15% off any Zenni frames priced at $12.95 and above, including Zenni's, the sports performance collection. This offer starts on November 9th and runs through February 1st, 2026. That code again is all caps ZENNIUSAV at checkout for 15% off any Zenni frames priced at $12.95 and above. Zenni sports performance sunglasses will help you reach a whole new level.
DeFalco for the win! What a performance by this group of men to come back.
USA on one. USA!
Third goal in a row. Rio, Tokyo, and now Paris.
Coming to you from the Olympic City, Colorado Springs, Colorado, this is the USA Volleyball Show. And here are your hosts, Steven Munson and Sevrin Lavenstein.
Hello and welcome to the USA Volleyball Show, the official podcast of USA Volleyball. My name is Steven Munson, joined by my co-host Sevrin Lavenstein. And as you can see, we are on site in Kansas City at the NCAA Women's Volleyball National Championship. But we're not alone. We're joined by former Louisville star, volleyball star, ESPN commentator for both college football and volleyball as well. And then we just learned recently F1 commentator as well, which I'm sure you and Sevrin are going to nerd out about a little bit later. But Katie, welcome in, and how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me. Obviously this is the best time of year for us as commentators at ESPN. We're so excited to be here in Kansas City, and the four teams that are here are so fantastic. I can't wait for Thursday night to see all these teams could play, and I think it's going to be an incredible atmosphere and just such high-level volleyball. We've already seen such high-level volleyball throughout this whole NCAA tournament, but I can't wait to see what we have in store on Thursday.
Yeah. Katie, we've got to imagine that the last month for you has got to be crazy, covering a whole bunch of different sports, and then obviously leading up to being here in Kansas City. What has your schedule been like?
It's been busy, to your point. Yeah, I'm covering college football right now, so I actually I'll leave in between games. So I'll do the Thursday night national semifinal matches, and then I'll head down to Ole Miss. I've got the Tulane-Ole Miss game for the first round of the college football playoff on Saturday. I can't fly out Saturday night because of the game time, and so I'll fly first thing in the morning on Sunday and hopefully land in enough time and get over here for the national championship on ABC. I also cover NBA. So it's like all my sports that I cover are currently in full swing and in the most important parts of their season, which is fun. But December and January are definitely my busiest months. So I feel like I have to kind of compartmentalize in terms of like what I'm focused on and when I'm focused on it.
You may not want to reveal this, and maybe you have a bias being a volleyball player, but do you have a favorite sport you like to cover?
Oh, well, this is so near and dear to me because I certainly obviously played volleyball, but being in the analyst chair is so enjoyable, and I love getting to share my thoughts, also teach viewers, young girls, a little bit about the game, and being able to sit courtside and watch these fantastic athletes is such a luxury. Now I love college football, of course, but I'm a sideline reporter in that role.
Right.
And, being in some of those stadiums with 100,000 fans, like there's nothing quite like it. I sometimes have to stop myself and look up and just kind of pinch myself that, I'm here doing these kind of things. But I do love getting to be an analyst alongside Holly McPeak. I think that's really, it's been a very enjoyable part of my career, getting to do both roles.
For sure. This is kind of a special, moving back to volleyball, this is kind of a special Final Four. It feels like got 2 teams going for their first title in their program history, and then 2 chasing their second as well. And it's been a few years removed since their first. But as you've been kind of like doing your research, breaking down these teams, what are you seeing?
Well, I mean, you don't get to this part of the NCAA tournament if you don't have fantastic arms, especially on the pins, right? And every team has incredible attackers. And then you don't get this far if you don't play great defense. That's at the net and backcourt. And I think, you could look at Logan Lednicki, you could look at Olivia Babcock, you could look at Brooklyn DeLay, Mimi Collier. I just named all, the 4 biggest hitters. Eve Hudson, I would throw, she's been fantastic for Kentucky since she transferred there. Like, you look at all these hitters, and I feel like as viewers, we want to talk about offense, but I'm so excited to see the defenses play on Thursday night. I think like some of the rallies that we're going to see between these 4 teams are going to be fantastic. And I think obviously as a setter, I'm a little bit biased. I love watching the setters. Charlie Furbringer, she's fantastic, so athletic. I feel like she's sets dimes. Her location is on point. You got a true freshman at Kentucky running the show as a setter. That's so exciting. And I mean, can you imagine being on this stage as a true freshman trying to win, your second national title? Like, I'm giddy. I wish I'm envious. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I could have made it this far when I was at Louisville. Certainly dreamt of it, but getting to call it is a close second.
Yeah. Do you have a secret year of eligibility maybe to sneak back in there?
I wish. Yeah.
We'll
I don't
put in
know if
the
anybody
request.
take me at this point. Yeah.
Katie, you mentioned some of the key players, and I'm curious at this point in the season when you're down to these crucial matches, is it about relying on those key players, or are you looking at different things throughout the match? You mentioned defense, for example, or maybe winning those rallies, where it's really that is where you're going to separate yourself from the others at the stage.
Yeah, it's interesting. That's a great question. I think first off, the knowns, these players, like an Olivia Babcock, she's going to show up and she's going to play her best. You have to have that, right? Your star players have to be stars on this stage if you're going to win a national championship. But to your point, I think it's somebody who steps up that maybe you didn't expect, or they go off and have an unbelievable game, whether that's a defender, or an attacker that maybe, usually gets set 10, 12 times a game. Maybe they go off. I think it's sometimes those unexpected performances that move the needle and push a team into the national championship and then ultimately help them win it.
What was your reaction to the Nebraska upset? And then a lot of people now are picking A&M. Is that the right choice? Can you say?
I won't make a pick as somebody who's on the call. I always root for 5-set matches because I think that's what people at home want to see, and that's great for TV ratings. So I certainly root for chaos in that regard. I do think that Texas A&M has had the most difficult path to the Final Four, to the national semifinal. I mean, to come back from a reverse sweep against Louisville, I don't care what sport we're talking, a reverse sweep I think is one of the hardest things to pull off in any sport. Just the mental and physical wear of the gauntlet of trying to have your back against the wall and come back when you're down 2-0, I think says a lot about Texas A&M as a team. But then to beat Nebraska at Nebraska, I mean, that place was a madhouse when I was watching my gals on TV. To be able to do that in one weekend is really impressive. I think they're certainly battle tested. It's going to be a great match against Pitt. And as you guys know, Pitt has been here. They have experience on their side, or who knows if maybe the bright lights and the emotions of it, maybe that weighs a little bit on Texas A&M. Maybe they have jitters, but Pitt has been here. They've done this before. We'll see if experience factors in and maybe gives Pitt an edge. I
was going to ask you what it's going to take for A&M to win their first title, but you kind of said it there.
Balls to the wall. Doesn't matter. Don't be nervous. I mean, you've gotten this far because their roster is so well structured. I mean, their block is unbelievable. They're going to have to continue to block and be the best blocking team in the country like they've been throughout the entirety of this season. I think it starts with great defense for them, but I don't want them to make the moment bigger than it is, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
If you have fun, you play relaxed. Easier said than done, certainly,
For sure.
right? Given the magnitude of these matches. But I think if they play relaxed, have fun like we've seen them, they are such a joy to watch. You can tell that they're having so much fun. I think that's kind of their bread and butter. So I hope that's what we see on Thursday when they take the court.
And like you mentioned, A&M beat Louisville. Sorry about that.
Right.
But
Happens.
you were just talking about Louisville there, and I would like to take you back a little bit to last year, calling the NCAA championship in Louisville. How special was that for you?
Yeah, that was unbelievable. I was hopeful that they would have played a little bit better in the national championship, but Penn State was just so fantastic, such a strong team, top to bottom. But being in the arena that I played in, being on the court, getting to call Louisville in a national final, trying to win their first national title, it was just all of the things that you would want kind of culminating at the same time. And it was a really special experience for me to get to do it. Now, it would have been great if Louisville had won and, you tie that bow into it, but being able to call them out on that national stage is so remarkable. And two, the growth just from when I played and finished my career, we had won the first ACC title at that point in 2015. To see where that program has gone since then has been unbelievable to watch. I mean, it's just been a total meteor rise.
Yeah. For you, with your prep when you get to national championship games, are you making a lot of boards and putting notes on them, or do you want to make sure your eyes are always on the court?
It's funny. I believe I over prep for everything. That's what makes me feel most confident going into a match or a game on television. As a sideline reporter, 90% of what I prep and prepare doesn't make air. So I will have boards for each team, players, and I have them lined up in their rotations. And then I have little notes underneath each player. But to your point, as an analyst, you are just reacting to what you see. And you are analyzing what you see in real time. That's why I love being an analyst, because you don't have any idea what you're going to say or where the match is going to take you. And I think that unknown is fun about the job. But yes, I have certainly a ton of preparation in front of me. But it is important to keep your eyes up, because, if you're looking down or trying to hit this tidbit, that's Courtney Lyle's job as the play-by-play. My job is to watch what's unfolding.
I mean, you're at the pinnacle of broadcasting. We talked about it at the beginning. You're covering all these amazing sports at the highest level possible for maybe any young women out there, or for even just aspiring broadcasters. Do you have any advice to people?
Yeah, gosh. Don't let people tell you no. I remember my first internship in local television when I was a freshman at the University of Louisville. The sports director told me, well, what's your goal? And I said, well, I want to work at ESPN. And he said, well, good luck with that. Only the 1% get to work at ESPN. And I think a lot of people hear things like that when they're trying to aspire to be broadcasters. And I could have easily listened to that and thought, yeah, I won't be one of the 1%ers, however you want to say it. But I actually took that as motivation, that yes, I'm going to prove that I can be one of those people at ESPN, on ESPN one day. And so I think in this business, you're told no a lot. So you got to roll with it, and you got to keep pushing and know that the breaks are going to happen. But I would also tell young girls, say yes. Young girls, young guys who want to get into this business, say yes to any and everything that gets you on camera, on air. Nothing is too small or too big. I think that it's like practice, right? Reps. The more reps you have at something, the better you're going to become. So, if that's radio, if that's, I've done ACC cross country indoor championships. I know nothing about cross country, but I prepped and I got there, but that was an opportunity for me to come into my own on air. So never say no, to opportunities that get you, in front of a camera and to do what you love. And don't let people say no.
F1 as well, you talked a little bit off camera about,
Yeah, Formula One. That was right time, right place. I spoke to my managers, my bosses, and I said, hey, I'm really interested in Formula One. I think I'd be great covering it. And they said, well, actually, we need someone to go to Miami, the Miami Grand Prix, the inaugural one. And so I fell into that, and that was a lot of fun. So I've been very lucky in terms of getting to cover so many different things. But I think that I said yes to anything and everything early on in my career, and I think that certainly helped.
Katie, you've been more than generous with your time here, but is there any final thoughts, either about the match or for your career, anywhere you want to take it for our viewers here before we close out? Make sure you're watching on Thursday. Make sure you're watching on Sunday. It's going to be fantastic volleyball. The level of play over the last few years it blows my mind how good these women are at what they do. And I think that the growth of volleyball has been tremendous. You have to show the game to grow the game, right? And we're certainly doing our part, I think, as a TV partner. But people wouldn't watch if these women out here weren't so good at what they do. And so I can't wait to be a part of it and to watch them on Thursday and Sunday.
Could not have said it better myself. Katie George, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us, Katie. I don't think I have to wish you luck, but good luck.
Thank you. I'll take it.
In the next coming days. And to our listeners and viewers, thank you so much for tuning in. Follow along to USA Volleyball on social media, on your Instagram and other social media platforms. And thank you for listening. This has been another episode of the USA Volleyball Show, the official podcast of USA Volleyball.
This has been the USA Volleyball Show with Steven Munson and Sevrin Lavenstein. Produced by Curtis Ward. Our content producer is Lara Fawcett. Our marketing lead is Bree Jaycox. If you enjoyed this podcast, be sure to rate, review, and share with your friends. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the USA Volleyball Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to or watch your podcasts.